Welcome to this game development stream of GDevelop 5, and now we will continue with our game. So today we are going to make a new stage, second stage for our game. So I will open my current stage, or wait, I will click these three dots and you can go to duplicate to duplicate this stage. And what is this stage? This is actually the stage where the game happens, where we play the game, right? And the other one is the main menu. No, the game does not happen over there. So just duplicate this, click on these three dots and go down and duplicate. It says stage 12, but it's actually not stage 12, it's stage 2. We will rename it. So let's rename that. Stage 12, click on three dots and click on rename and just type 2, stage 2. And we will now open stage 2, double click, just single click on it, and it's open. It's the same stage. So but now we need to change the background. We also need to add a new type of ghost. So uh, I here I am going to try something first and I will see if it works. If it works, then it's good. If not, then we will do it from scratch. So to change the background, just go to these backgrounds, one of them, sky background, double click on it and just replace it. I wonder if it will replace it all over. But just click on this and click on choose a new image, and from there I will choose. I have used city 1, I believe. This one is, no, I haven't used city 1, but city 1 is not looking very interesting. I will go for city 3. It looks kind of new and interesting. So it should be a new state, should be new, should look new. Sky pale. Select sky pale and click on OK. And then click on apply. And now I will go back to my original page and see if something changed over there also, because if it did, then we can't do it this way. So save the game and go to stage 1. No, the sky is same. So that's what I was checking, whether it creates a reference to the asset or does it duplicate it. It duplicates it. It looks like it's duplicating it, because we clicked on duplicate, but we still didn't know if it actually duplicated the asset or just created a reference. Because if it created a reference, then the sky would have changed in my previous stage also, but it didn't. So that's good. So now we can very easily replace the background and create as many stages as we want. So let's replace the foreground also. Double click on it and choose an image. This is the foreground, I believe. I mean background too. Yeah. And then this one, click again. What should we do? I think it is this thing. Yeah. Apply, and then this one. And for this one, I should choose this guy. Open, apply. So as you can see, as I am changing the files from here, the background here is being changed as well. So that's good. Now we don't have to move them around. Sometimes you may have to move something, like this looks out of place, but wait, we have to do more. Now I think it is time for a road or a crosswalk. I think it's the crosswalk. Apply, and then road, open, apply. The crosswalk should be in front, right? Because it's not visible from here. Let me do that. The foreground 4 is the road and this is the crosswalk. Let me make the z order value of crosswalk to 8. And now you can see that it's visible. So I'm actually pressing space bar to use the hand tool like that. Press space bar and press and hold it and then click and drag. Right, so that's how I can use hand tool. And to zoom I am using my mouse wheel. Zoom for mouse wheel for zoom, and space bar and click for drag, for dragging, for using the hand tool. And let me move it a little bit up there so that it's looking good. Yeah, there it is, a crosswalk. So I have to move it a little bit here in the middle. I'm using my arrow keys to do that. So you can see that we just changed the files from here and the background changed. So it's a new background, a new stage. However, what is not new is the ghost. So let's edit the ghost also. So double click on the ghost and you can just edit with Pascal. So I think I will change the color to something else. I mean like dark blue or something. And for the eyes I will do white, and for the mouth also. So it's a different ghost, and so it should be a little bit more different, I believe. This is okay, but I think I will add something more, something which differentiate. I will add a layer 2, and I will draw something. I think I will draw some. No, wait, blue color and draw something. Oh, draw some fire. So I have drawn some fire. I will now paint it in. Oops. Oh, what's happening? Can I not lock the layer or something? I will do this. Wow, wow, what's happening? I think it's not working properly, but just, oh, it's working now. Cool. So, so that's a fireball, and I will Shift C, copy the selected. I want to copy this. It says shift C. No, Control C. I will Control C, and I have copied it. And to paste, Control V. I mean it's the same thing, right? Oh, it's not working. So anyway, I will just keep it like this only. Now I will make the paste, make it visible, and I believe both of them should be at the same time. Can I not duplicate this layer? No, it's okay. It's okay. I will add a new frame, duplicate this frame, and why am I not able to see my other both of them at the same time? I mean I believe they are there, but and in this frame this will be same, and for 4 frames it will be like this, and then for the fifth frame it will be something different. I think I will move it up, and then 4 frames for that. not looking very smooth. So I believe in this frame I will move it to just a bit. I should have done it before, and now it's a little bit. Oh no, it's got messed up. So I will delete them. For the first frame it's okay. For the second frame, wow. For the second frame, just click on it, move it, and move it just a little bit, and then duplicate it and move it just a little bit up, and then duplicate and move it just here. That's good. 4 frames of movement, and then I have to move down. Duplicate it and move it just a little downward. Duplicate and move it just a little downward, and then duplicate this one, and then drag it to the end. So it's a kind of a different ghost. That's what it is. Save it. We have this. It will, and its time will be 0.033. Let's preview it. That's looking okay. It's a ghost. That's what it is. We will keep the name ghost.white only, because if we change the name, we will have to change all the events. That's not ideal. We'll have to do a lot of work for that. So don't do that. That's it. We have made a new stage, and we have made a new ghost, but we have not changed anything for the ghost. So let's change something. Let's change its variables. Health should be something more, 2 maybe. Points 20. Coins 5. No, 3 coins. Attack power is 15, and speed will be more, 500. So it's a bigger and more powerful ghost, right? Now we can test it out and see if it's working or not. It's working, but we need a more powerful power to kill these ghosts because they are stronger, and we are absolutely taking a beating. So that's not good. But it's okay, because by the time the player is able to advance to second stage, they will have gained a lot of power-ups. So one thing which I forgot to fix in the last stage was the game over text. So let's do that. It is coming way outside the screen. So just go to game over text, double click on it, and just hit enter here. Game over should display one above another. Apply, and I will have to do the same for stage 1 also. Game over text, just hit enter, and you are good to go, and then close it. And I hope it works. I don't know if it will, but let's hope. So now we have two stages, right? Stage 1, stage main menu. Now how will the player advance to the next stage? Will there be a point threshold? Suppose the player got, I don't know, 1000 points, then they can automatically advance to the next stage. Will it be that way? uh, I think it can be that way. and it will be simpler if it is that way. But we also need to enable the player to play previous stages also, or not. That's just a decision which you can make yourself. Uh, to keep it simple, I will do it this way. Suppose in stage 1 you reached 1000 points or 500 points. Then you can advance to the next stage, right? Or yeah, that's a winning state, right? So we have a winning state. Because many games don't have a winning state, I think I will add that as a winning state. Suppose you killed so many ghosts that now you have 1000 points. Now you are a better ghost hunter, and now you can go to more dangerous areas, and you will have gotten a lot of money also, and then you can use that money to invest in some power ups. So we will have to make a shop system for power ups, right? So that the player can buy some power ups using in game currency. We have to do all these things. So first thing is that I think we need to uh, make a make a stage selector so that we can select which stage we want to play, and click on this manager project manager, and hit click on create click to add a new scene. We have added it, and change its name to stage select selector. Stage selector, it is a screen which lets us select which stage we want to play, and to double click on it, it is a good old screen. We need a black colored screen for it, so we will create one in scale. Add a new object, tiled sprite. I already have the image, the black colored screen. I just need a small black colored box, that's all. I have it, I believe. There it is. Flash 10 is the name. No, I think it's this one. It's this one. New file 11. Yeah, it's a black colored box, 32 cross. However, its width and height was something else. It was 64. It doesn't matter because it's a square, but it's better if you get 32 cross 32. That is better. Yeah. What happened? This resource does not exist in this game. Then which game does it exist in? Flash 10.2. It kind of exists, but it's not showing anything. I will just apply. I will see if something comes here. No, it's not there. Hit on delete. Delete this object. It's not. I think I will just make a new one. Plus sprite. Sorry, styled sprite. I have to delete it so many times. Styled sprite. Call it screen. Call it black screen. Black screen. Create. Edit with scale. For easy editing. And a black colored box. That's it. That's what it is. Save. 32 cross 32. Okay, cool. Black screen. Drag it here. And now just do this. Do this. Drag it up there. Do this. That's it. Our screen. You can center it if you want. That's it. That's the screen. And now this will show us our stage selector. We need some text. stage selector text size 60, select area. I will call it select area. And yeah, I will right now I will choose black, but I want the same color we use in the main menu, because that will that will be very consistent, right? click on Click on main menu and go to your text title, and just remember this. What is the RGB value? 247 203 141. 247 203 141. So just set that. 2 247 203 141. That's the RGB value. Apply. Now we have a stage selector select area. And wait, what was the size of that? I forgot to note. It's 100. We will choose 100 only, just to keep it consistent with the main menu, because it is also a menu. Select area. Select area. And now how will the area be shown? Area 1 and area 2. But we also need to show something, some art in the area. So we'll do something very simple here. First we will need a button. So create a sprite and call it stage 1 button. Add animation, call it default. Edit with scale. Resize for easy editing. We can change. Then on rectangle tool and just make a rectangle. Choose any color you want and just make one rectangle. Although I couldn't choose the color. Oh, it's black. Yeah, that's better. Make a rectangle which is slightly like longer. Yeah, that's better. And to add some nice effects to it, just erase these boundaries from both sides. I just want to add a little curvy effect like this. Just take it down 1 point or 2 points and then click here, here, and then bring it here like this. So you have a little curved effect, something like that, right? It's looking okay. And then click on paint bucket and choose the lighter shade of blue and paint it in. So that's your button. And you can resize it if you want. Just resize it to, I think, 100 cross 100. Resize. It's now 100 cross 100. Click on save. Click on apply and now drag it here. It's too small. I think I will go for 256. Double click again. Edit with scale. So now it's bigger, but I want more, because it's a area selector. It should be big. Now this is big enough. So that's good. And so now we will be adding an art on top of this button, so that it signifies that this is a stage 1. So go to add a new object, click on sprite and add stage 1 art, and click on add an animation, call it default and click on add, and then choose any of these, but I will choose this one because this signifies the stage better, right? So just choose this and click on open and then click apply and then just drag it here. It's too big and you have to resize it. So go down here, click on custom size. Wow, it disappeared. Click on 100. It's not working. Wait. You can just do this. Do this. Oh, sorry. Just do this and drag it like this. Yeah. Even smaller would be better. So this shows that this is stage 1. Stage 1. Does it look good? I wonder if it does. Or delete it. You can also choose another thing. Right. And then type stage 1 R2. Art icon. Or just write stage 1 icon. Add animation. Type default as name. Click on add and choose this in pre-built scene. Because this scene, the assets which we have has the whole city's scene already assembled in one image. We couldn't use it in our stages because the orientation is landscape in this one and we wanted portrait, so we had to assemble each part separately. But we can, for the icon we can use this, right? So let's click on it and apply and then bring it here. You can resize it. It will lose its aspect ratio, but don't worry too much about that right now. It will lose its aspect ratio. Just make it smaller so that it fits almost. Yeah, now it's looking okay. We didn't really need to do that, did we? I think I will just do this. Do it like this. Just looking okay, like not very bad either, right? Yeah. And for stage 2, just duplicate this button, duplicate it, and then type stage 2 button, enter, and then drag it over here. That is the stage 2 button, and now you need stage 2 icon. We will just delete stage 1 art because we don't need it, and then add stage 2 icon. Stage 2 icon. Add an animation default. Click on add, and then for stage 2 I have used stage yeah, this one, stage 3, and this is the pre-assembled image. Just use it, open it, and click on apply and then drag it here and then resize it and then pick the size of this one. Just pick what size is this. This is 249 cross 143, and so this also will be 249 cross 143. It will be the same size, almost, no, not almost, exactly the same, right? Just align it approximately where the other one is. Is it looking good enough? I think, or should I just move it like this and then align it with the, and this one also move it down here and then align it with this. Is it looking better this way or that way? Or or you can just do it like this and bring the button down and put like this. Make it smaller. So this looks better, I think. What is the size of the above one? 494 cross 268. 494 cross 268. Exactly the same size. So yeah, now we have two images. So now what, there you can see something which is kind of concerning here, and that is the size of this. It is overlapping with this and this, and I wonder if when I click over here, will it register the click? So we need to find that out by just running the code. However, now we need two text items. Click on text and call it stage 1 text and make it 60 60 and type stage 1, or you can call it area 1 and then stage 2 text. However, first let us style it properly. What was the digits? Let me do this. 247 203 141. 247 203 141. So that's the color, and then just drag it here. It's not bold, we need bold. Click on bold, apply, and then drag it. Area 1, and you can duplicate it then, and then call it stage 2 text, and then call it area 2. Oops, area 2. So yeah, that's how we can select the area. This is the area selector screen. So we have just designed it right now. Let's implement the functions. If first of all, from main menu we will go to area selector. So we have to change the events in the main menu also. Go to main menu events. So when the mouse is clicked within the start button, we are going to stage 1. But now we will go to area selector scene, stage selector. Okay, we'll go to now stage selector, and in stage selector, stage 1 button and stage 2 button, that's what we have to use. Click on add new condition. Wait, yeah, now click on add new condition. Add a condition, and that is collision point inside object. Which object? I believe stage 1 button, and point is mouse cursor X position. Layer, just choose this one. For camera, choose nothing, and mouse Y position. I just type it, mouse Y, double quotes, comma, space, that's it. Mouse X and mouse Y. If they are within the button, right, and if mouse button is lifted after being clicked, mouse button released, which one? Left mouse button. Okay. If both of these happen, then we will go to stage 1. Scene, uh, change the scene, stage 1. Stop any other pause scene, yes, stage 1, okay. Now this will take us to stage 1. And if we do the same thing with the next button, then it will take us to stage 2. Click on plus, and collision point inside object, stage 2 button, mouse X, double quote, space, and bracket close, and then mouse Y, open bracket, sorry, capital Y, open bracket, double quotes, comma, space, and bracket close, this point. And then if mouse button was lifted, left mouse button was lifted, sorry, left mouse button was lifted, change to scene 2. change the scene to stage 2. Yes, and that should work. Let's see if it does. Play. Oh, we are in the area selector. Yeah, I want to tell you one more thing. If your whatever scene is active, that scene will be started by this button. We will go from main menu to this to that to just to check if main menu events are working. So yeah, it's working. We are in two ghosts are coming. It's working. So that's good. But in the beginning, our area 2 will not be selectable. And now we need to do something. We need to add some variables which will tell us whether area 2, area 3, area 4, all these areas are uh, have been unlocked or not. So just go to project manager and go to game settings, click on global variables. So we have a lots of variables now, but we have to add some more. Uh, stage 1 unlock. So stage 1 is always unlocked. So let's do 1 here. And then stage 2 unlocked. Stage 2 is not unlocked by default. Click on apply and then do this. That's okay. Yeah. And now, so that will, we have to actually check it here if it is 1 or not. That is the global variable. We will do it for both the stages so that it's just consistent. So click on this add condition, check for variables, value of a global variable, and that is stage 1 unlock. It should be equal to, using equal and not greater than equal, because we are ourselves changing that variable. It's not being changed in the game by the player while the game is running, or by players actions. It's not being changed by players actions. That's why we are using exactly equal to. If any variable is being changed by players actions, you have to consider that it can be greater than the ideal value, or it can be less than the ideal value, right? So you have to use greater than equal to or less than equal to. But since we are changing this variable ourselves, so equal to is fine. 1. Is it equal to 1? Then you can go to next stage. And then here also, and value of a global variable stage 2 unlocked, is it equal to 1? Then you can go to the next stage. One more thing, I want to gray it out if it is not unlocked. Grayed out. It should be grayed out. And so let's do the graying out. I wonder if I have any uh, color changing functions in this conditions, because that will be easier. Otherwise I will have to add an animation. It will be kind of cumbersome. Let's see if I can do it with code. So click on plus new event, which is it's here, add condition. If my global variable is 0, stage 2 unlocked is equal to 0. If it is 0, then I will change the color of the button, right? Bright effects, global color, stage 2 button color. I can choose from here. I will choose this color. So how about that? Right? It, I guess it should work. Let's see if it actually works or not. I will just run directly this one because we want to check this one. We have already checked main menu. It's working. there is no difference really. uh, yeah. uh, so it doesn't show any difference. Blend mode, no, it will not be good with blend mode. Visibility, can I change the opacity to signify that it's inactive? Value goes from 0 to 255. I will just do 50. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks inactive, but this one is right. And one, have to make the area to text also, grayed out. This thing also grayed out. So we have to do all. We can do all this in this condition only. Change the sprite opacity, stage 2 icon equal to 50. Okay. And for text, we will have to go to the text object, opacity, stage 2 text equal to 50. That's it. That it will just gray everything out if it is inactive. Yeah, it's grayed out, and that's good. So let's add the same function for stage 1 also, although it's not necessary, but let's do that just to give it a complete structure. Check the value of a global variable, stage 1 unlog equal to value to compare 0, sorry. Then change the opacity. I will just copy these, copy and then paste them. And then change this stage 1 button. And then change this here. You can just click on these you know identifier names, and then this kind of menu, this kind of a button will pop up. You can do this because we just have to change 2 to 1, right? So now it will work for stage 1, but because stage 1 is already unlocked, it will not gray it out. 1 is unlocked. And also another thing we will do, and that is when we are hovering our mouse to the button, it's not showing that the button is clickable. It's just like that. So it should show it should show me that I can click on the button, right? And to do that, uh, I think I will again have to do something with the opacity, because that's simple to do. We can add another sprite and change the animation, but that will be a lot of work. However, again in this stage selector, we have to set the opacity back to 255 also. So for that we have to add another piece of code. Let's add a condition. Let's complete it because it's incomplete right now. Let's copy this, copy and paste conditions, and then convert this 0 to 1. That's it. Then copy these, copy and then paste, and then just change this 50 to 255. That's it. This 50 to 255. Don't press enter. If you press enter, then it will take some other value. And now do the same for this. Add a new condition, copy this one, copy and paste, and change this 0 to 1, which signifies that our stage has been unlocked. It is already unlocked, but let's do it for the sake of completion and structure. I am selecting several options at once, several actions at once by pressing shift. It won't work with control. You have to press shift to select all of them. Right click, copy, and then go here and paste action, and then change this 50 to 255. Again this one to 255. Don't press enter. just click somewhere else and click somewhere else. So it is, the opacity will be changed back if the stage has been unlocked. So that's good, this will work now. We will just change the stage unlocked variable and the stage will be unlocked. But now I want to make that button activation thing. When I hover on the button, it should show me that it's active, that is clickable. Let's do that right now. uh, this is just simply this code. When mouse is inside, then it should change opacity, and when mouse is outside, it should change opacity, right? So we have to add two conditions. Just click here so that this action is selected, and so that we can add next condition after this. If you click here, your next condition will be added after this. Let's try that. Oh no, it's not. That is at the end. Why does that happen? I can just drag it below the first one, so that is together. And now add a condition. Just copy this condition. Don't add. Copy and then paste. And now add action of changing the opacity. Right, visibility opacity stage 1 button equal to, just do it 200. Yeah, 200. This will just signify that mouse is inside the stage 1 button. And what if the mouse is not inside? Then it should be back to 255. We have to do that also, specify that action. Just copy this one, paste it, and go inside it to invert condition. You click on this invert. Now it's a inverted condition. If mouse is not inside stage 1 button, then change the opacity to 255. So click on it, copy it, and then come here and paste actions, and then change this 200 to 255. That should work. Let's try. Not working. It's not working for some reason. Stage not inside, so 255. I think I will do a more dramatic change in opacity so that I can perceive it. Let's see if it now works or not. It's not working. I wonder why not. Uh, I guess hmm, change opacity to 255, otherwise 200. I think we will have to just add some animation now, because I don't, it's not working for some reason. I don't know why. Let's add some animation, one frame extra. So just go to wait, let me do this. Just go to stage 1 button and add animation, and that is active. The button is active. And for the image, we will just use this image. So just click on add and search for this image somewhere in our main folder. It must be there. There it is. But what is the size? I think it is 512, I believe. So just choose that and edit it with scale. Now we will just pick choose a lighter shade and paint it in and save. And that one is also got changed. So you have to fix that. I wonder why that happens. Maybe because we are, using the same image. So edit it with scale, edit, close it, add something, add the old one. This one got changed. I think we should have copied and pasted it. So just copy it and paste it, right here, and then select the copy. You can change the name of the copy, but it's not necessary. Open. Now that one is open. Now you can edit it with Piscale. One copy. Now add something which is add the smaller one. Edit. Right like this. We don't delete. I think I resize it. If I resize it, it's 512, but this one is 100, also 512. So let's delete this. Delete this. 512 cross 512. Save it. That's good. That's good. It kind of became very fiddly. Became fiddly for some reason. So stage 2 button, stage 1 button. We have done it with stage 1 button, but since we changed the image, so stage 2 button is also changed. So let's fix that. We have to anyway do it. I think you should just delete the stage 2 button. No, don't delete it. Don't delete it. If you delete it, all the actions will be related to. So just double click on it and add an animation, call it active, and add the button is active. That means, and yeah, this one, use it. That's okay. And here you can use a darker one. Yeah, this one. And to delete this, you have to go to Pixel and then click on it. Check the size. It's okay. Apply. That's better. And now let's quickly do this. I have set it for stage 1, so let me go to actions. First of all, let me delete this. Hit delete. Click on this. Hit delete. Add action. Write animations. uh, Change animation by name. Stage 1 button, and the new animation is active when the mouse is inside, and when it is not inside, go to sprite animations and change the animation of stage 1 button to default. Right, that should work. Let's see. So it's working. However, we also want to make sure that the stage has been unlocked, even here also. So just add the checking condition. Is the stage 1 unlocked? Yes. Then only do this thing. And here also. Just copy that. Copy and paste condition. That's good. And we have to do the same thing for stage 2 button. Okay, let's do that. Just add a condition, and yeah, this condition has been added here. So just copy this and this and shift, copy this, copy, and then paste conditions, and then just change stage 1 to stage 2 and click on this. And then here change stage 1 unlock to stage 2 unlock, right? Yeah, and then here copy this section and paste it, and from stage 1 button you can choose stage 2 button. Click here. So this is one condition, and add another one. It has been added at the end, so just drag it here. Yeah. Now just copy this. Wait, I think I dragged it. This is the clicked one, and this is the, yeah, this is the uh, flashing one. Just copy this and this. Shift, copy, and now paste, and just change stage 1 unlock to stage 2 unlock. Right? Yeah. And change stage 1 button to stage 2 button. Right? And then copy this action, copy and paste, and change stage 1 button to stage 2 button. So now it should work for both stages, but if the stage is inactive and not unlocked, then it will not work. So let's check this. So yeah, it's working. So that's good. We added this stage selection area, and to unlock the stage we will just do one thing. Close this menu, we don't need it right now, and you can close stage 2 also, and then you go to stage 1, go to events. So what is the threshold for unlocking stage 2? I think it's gonna be a lot of work right now, so we will not do it today itself. Let's do it next time. Yeah, that's how much we did today. Just made a selection area selection screen and implemented the buttons and all that. So yeah, that's it for today. If you are enjoying this series, then consider joining me tomorrow as well. And thank you for watching.